Hello and welcome back to another round of mapping. So we're still on Operation Mars obviously, and this time I want to finish this area here, maybe add some vegetation around this road here and this erosion area, and then we'll see. Anyway, over here I'm just gonna start by filling out more of these parcels. Anyway, gonna speed that up, of course. Alright, so I made one parcel. I will fill it with vegetation, of course. So, oh, one thing I forgot to do. Always looks better when you put up the min call distance. One sec. Yeah, so what I want to do now is another one, and for that I will use, instead of a stick fence or garden fence or something, I will use one of the French farm walls made from stone. Now, there are several advantages to that. These are basically better cover and also pretty easy to place. I will use the bulge ones that have snow on them. Now, before I go into detail, one thing you have to always be careful when placing these. For one thing, don't overdo it when it comes to Russia. Have some of the buildings or some of the parcels enclosed in stone walls, but most of them in these kind of walls. Otherwise, it's not really Russia anymore. These are really more for France, but in some places you can use them. Also, when you place them, be aware that vehicles cannot easily cross those. So if you want vehicles to be able to access an area, you need to make gaps into them big enough for common vehicles. And if you make one gap that is big enough for a vehicle to cross into the area, there needs to be a second one so they can get out. Otherwise you have created a dead end and you don't want that in your map. So always be mindful of that. Same for infantry, of course. Although infantry usually, unless you place them really high, they can jump over. But for vehicles, you need to keep that in mind. Anyway, the best way to place these is as followed. You take the pillar first, put that somewhere, and then you put up one of the pieces. Say, for example, the 9-meter piece is a good standard one. So what you do then is you copy the position data of the pillar over, like this. They're now exactly lined up. Then you first click on the big piece, then on the pillar while holding down CTRL, and then you have both selected, and then you can place both of these as one unit, like this. So what makes this easiest let's say, where do I want to start? Let's say I want to start up here. I want to leave a little gap here where I will put vegetation between the two. So I'm placing them here, sinking them into the ground. Then I'm going to the soldier mode just to check how... shit, now I have that bug. Yeah, that happens. Might have to restart the editor. Then I look at how high they are. Can I jump over? Yep, fine. Go back into normal mode. You always have to check if you can jump over, but yeah, there's a lot of space there. Then you line it up like this to the terrain. Maybe move it up a bit. And then you do the same trick you do with normal fences. You hold CTRL, move them. Done. And then you just move down the area you want to fill using that method. What's the hammer map mode? Here we go. Want to actually only go until here. CTRL, drag, put that over, turn it around, and this is really the easiest and most efficient way to place these. I want to have the parcel line up. Usually these are pretty geometrically lined up. So sometimes, like in this case, when you've turned them, you will have to move them around a bit so there's not much clipping going on or that fighting or whatever. But yeah, that's how you place these. Anyway, did the bug sort itself out or do they keep disappearing? Apparently only in soldier mode, so it's fine. Anyway, I will carry on with this now. Alright, so finished that side of the road in Emelianovo. Let's go down to the ground. Okay, bug is fixed. Look at what we made. So, this was of course from last session. Jump over here. So, we have this parcel here, only lightly damaged in front of here, with a machine gun nest between the two houses. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. And this part where the parcel is enclosed in a stone wall to mix it up a bit and give some better cover. You can still easily jump out as infantry, but it's inaccessible to tanks as they can't, like this is too small for tanks obviously. Then another parcel here with a big double building, which I think will be a nice position to guard the crossroads as well. Of course you can shoot like this, that's a pretty good position for infantry. And then the end of the village here. Now from here you will be able to see later, so this is the OB area and there will be the other village, the name escapes me right now. But yeah, that will be made later in the OB. It starts where that vegetation ends there, so there will be more ruins and chimneys over there. Anyway, what we will do next, will I do it in this video? Yeah, you know what, probably. But what we will do next is make the center of the German position on this side of the road, namely a big basement area that will be here, that the Germans have fortified, and that will be a hub for a bunch of trenches going in either direction through the village here. And yeah, that's the next plan. Alright, so after a short little pause, we are back. And let's see, how will we make that basement? I think I have an idea, not 100% sure if it will work, but it could be cool. So we're going to go into the modular log trenches and take the tank pit, which is there to give cover or like a spawning area to a tank, but we will try and use it for our basement. Here we go. Well, we don't need to turn it. The question is now, how many will we use? How big is that compared to, let's say, this? So we're not going to use two next to each other, which was my initial idea, but that's not important right now. Idea number two, we take one of them and we take an access to the, I think we had an access one as well, yeah, trench locked access. Put it like this, turn that around, okay, turn that the other way around. And here we go. Now put it on the same height, so it's easier to fit them. And in my opinion, this looks like they reinforced an already low-lying area. I will then, because some of the bigger Russian, okay, that doesn't fit as well as I had hoped here. Because in my opinion, some of the bigger Russian, maybe we will make it bigger anyway, after all I mean, and just make it the easy way, even if it is a bit big then, and make it look like one of the big, so okay, let me organize my thoughts here. We will make it a bit bigger and give it like a stone wall fundament, like many of the bigger Russian rural buildings have. So this is that basement area that they fortified. Maybe it was big church once, or Well, churches don't usually have basements in rural areas, but a big building, like a storage building, and we will make broken stone walls around it to make it look like the fundament of an old building. Then it will get put parallel to the road, like this. Roughly, yeah. Okay, and this will be the... Okay. So, next up, we will make that a bit deeper than normal though. And in order to do that, first make it higher. Now it gets a bit interesting, because I haven't tried this ever. We're gonna take these halves here, and I'm gonna put these under to make it a bit bigger. Start here, and oh, that's actually nice. If we put it down here like that, we actually have raised areas here as well that we can place guns on or that people can shoot from. Now if we go here, let's see how if this works. Or if, oh, actually put this here. See, this is still a bit too low then. Like this. Yep. Nah, that's good. Okay, that's the right height for that in comparison to the others. Then, now it gets a bit wonky. Gotta copy that over, turn it by 90 degrees. We're gonna keep the height the same. Bad. Yep. Copy it over here. Okay. Yep, that's doable. Then 180 degrees here. Why does it fit better there than here? Although this doesn't look too bad, that looks like snow covers, I mean it's not snow yet, that's gonna look like snow covers half of that. Put it like this. Yeah, why not? Maybe make it... Well, we need to put it a bit more forward here, right? Yeah. How far out is it here? Yeah, a bit more forward. Ah, okay, that explains a lot. So, put it like this. Alright. And then, of course, the same on the other side. And then sink it into the ground. Oh, yes. 180 degrees flip. Alright. Now the unfun part, let's put that into the ground. Yep. Like this, maybe a bit more here in this direction. And now it's ready to dig, or now we're ready to dig that part out, and then we will connect more trenches to this and this end. Okay, done. Well, with this side. Just want to show you the progress. I will also connect a trench to the other side of the basement. And then here we are inside the basement. So this will be like a hub area. Now this I will make, have as a gun position, because you can very nicely look out here. On the other side, due to the terrain, that's not possible, so this will be like ammo storage type, or maybe maybe I will even make a roof over this once I have the necessary statics for a roof. And then you can maybe use this to hide out while you cap the flag, that kind of thing. And there's two access trenches, and there will be another trench here, and that trench will lead a bit in this direction for this machine gun nest here. And then there's more machine gun nests here too, on both sides of this road leading towards the Russian main base, and then off here. And these two will also be in a trench system, and once we're done with those, the trenches for this area are done, and we can start on the village. On this village, from what it looks like on this map, most of the houses were on this side of the road. Let's look at the more detailed map here. Now, according to this, there were also was also a row of houses on the other side, so that's what we're going to do. Anyway, but before we do that, let's see, I don't have that much time left. Okay, I'm gonna add that last machine gun nest, and then we're gonna call it a day and do the rest of the trenches here next time, and then start on the houses. Sounds like a plan, sounds like a plan. Cool stuff. Okay. Here we go. We're in the basement. This will be nice centerpiece for the flag zone. And as I said, I will do that next time. But there will be like a destroyed stone wall around this to look like the fundament of or the foundation. That's the right word in English. The foundation of a big, slightly more luxurious hut. Maybe the mayor who used to live here, or the Communist Party official who ran this part of the this village or whatever. Anyway, so it's not quite finished. One sec. Let's lower that down a bit. Floating here. Nope. Okay. And back to the camera. And here we have another MG bunker, which will look into this direction. And with that, the front is actually pretty well covered. So the next two MG bunkers, let's zoom out. And the last two for this sector, I would almost say, will be according to those are these two. And there's something blue there as well, so maybe we'll make a third or extend the trench system there. So those will be, one will be here, in this area. Okay, let's say, well, we can do it a bit differently. One will be here, and one will be between these two here. Looking in that direction, trench system behind this. Maybe I will do something funky with the road, so it cuts through the road. Well, because this isn't really a road, this is more like a path, so I will just cut that path, make the trench system go through here. Maybe plank over it or something cool. And then after that we can fill in this whole area here with the same kind of destroyed hamlets as this one. Unless I have decided until then, which might be possible, that I will not show making these boring ass hamlets for hours in my videos, but we will see. Anyway, that's it for today, I would say. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching and have a nice day.